one particular skill that served me very, very well over the course of my network marketing career, and will serve you, is the skill of being a good problem solver. The bigger the problem that you can solve, the bigger the paycheck that you can get in network marketing. If there's a problem that shows up for your team, you can solve it, you get a reward. If there's a problem in your company and you can solve it, or in your region or in your country and you can solve it, you get a reward. If the problem is you need to grow a bigger team or get more people to an event or whatever it happens to be, come up with tools or a system and you solve it, you get a bigger return. So I used to run away from problems. And, well, that's not really true. First thing I used to do is run away. It was like if a problem showed up, it's like, I don't have nothing to do with that. But then I realized I needed to do something with the problem. So I thought I was a problem solver. And you know why I thought it? I was very, very good at giving my problem to somebody else as soon as I had it. If this was my problem, I'm like, you take it. And I'd give it to somebody who was a better problem solver than I was. Here, there's this problem. I need you to fix it. And guess who would accept that? A problem solver. And the problem solver would go fix it. And I felt like I solved the problem because I used somebody else as a problem solver to fix it. And they ended up getting the reward most of the time. I got a small benefit, but I always stayed weak. I stayed dependent instead of being independent. The more you're a problem solver, the more you can be independent. Okay? So I'm going to give you a little structure here on solving problems, right? A problem shows up. First question, what could I do? What could I do to solve this problem? Okay? And make a little list. I could do this, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. And start doing those things to see if you can't solve the problem by yourself. What could I do? Right? What could I do? Make a list of those things. Go do those things. Second, what could I learn? What could I learn? If I make a list of things and that doesn't solve it, maybe I can go do some homework and learn how to solve this problem. And then based upon what I learn, I can go do that. What could I learn? Is there a book I could read that would help me with this? Is there somebody else that's an amazing problem solver in the world and they share their secrets? Has other people solved a similar problem to the one that I'm dealing with right now? What could I learn? Where could I study? How can I get stronger in order to be able to realize I could do more? What could I learn? 3, who could I ask? Who could I ask? That is going to somebody else who's a problem solver. What could I do? What could I learn? Who could I ask? Okay? And let me give you number 4. Don't ask first. I used to ask first. If I had a problem, I would go ask somebody, hey, can you solve this problem for me? I needed to learn to first step of action when it came to a problem is what could I do? And learn how to make a list. I could do this, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. I could try this, I could try that, I could try this, I could try that. Still haven't solved the problem. All right, I don't know enough. What could I learn? And I could try this resource and that resource and this resource and that resource. but I'm going to see if I can find a solution that I could go try and do. And then third, who can I ask? And here's what I will tell you about great problem solvers. If you come to them and you haven't done anything and you haven't learned anything and you want to ask them to solve your problem, you're going to get resistance from a good leader. I'll put it to you a different way. Let's say you want to go on a school trip, and you're a teenager. You want to go on a school trip with your school that costs $1,000. Okay? What most people do is they just go to their parents and say, "Can you give me $1,000?" And you're going to get a certain result. But what if your child came to you, if you have kids, came to you and said, "Mom and Dad, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, I've done this, I've sold this, I tried to do this, I tried to sell this, I got this job, I figured this thing out, and I ran out of resources. I got $300 from doing all that stuff, and I'm trying to learn this skill, and I'm trying to develop this strategy, and I'm trying to learn. I've read this book and I've read that book and I watched this podcast, and I'm really trying to figure out other things that I can do. But Mom and Dad, the farthest I could get was $387. But I've done all that stuff. I only need $613 more." Are you more likely to respond to the teenager that says, "I've done all this and I've learned all that and I can't quite get there. I wanted to do it by myself, but I wasn't quite able to do it. Can you help me? Because here's what this trip means." How much more likely are you to write that check with pride? To say, "Oh, I'm so proud of you. You've done all this and you've learned all that. You didn't even ask me once and you didn't complain about it one time. You didn't expect me to just solve it for you, and you're grateful in the way that you're approaching all this and you're taking responsibility. I'm proud of you." No problem. No problem. Your father and I, your mother and I, we're proud of you. We want to see you do this too. So here we go, right? If you're capable. So that's so much different than your teenager saying, "I have this trip, it's $1,000. Will you write the check?" They haven't done anything and they haven't learned anything. Completely different vibe. And they're not grateful. They're expecting you to do it. Right? Instead of coming to it with gratitude. I learned in this simple little formula for becoming a better problem solver. First of all, realizing that I want to become good at problem solving. I want to. I don't want to run away from it. I don't want to wallow in it either, but I want to, if there's a problem that shows up, I want to be the person that solves it. Like some people in network marketing, they're waiting for support to get better for them to be able to succeed. And others are saying, "I don't need support. I am the support. I'll be the support. I'll create the support. I'll do the things necessary to provide the support. I'll learn what I need to learn so I can be better at support. And after I do those things, if I still have some gaps, then I'll start asking. But I'm not going to ask first." This little formula worked for me. And I think it'll work for you. I more than think it. I know it will. Okay? So try it out. Try it out. Next time you have a problem, or if you have a problem right now, most of you have some problem, small or big, write that problem down, use this formula, and see what you can do to improve your skills. The bigger the problem, the bigger the paycheck. Okay? I'll see you tomorrow.